Hey guys, where is your treasure today? I'm going to be reading out of Matthew 6, and it's talking about treasures on earth and treasures in heaven. In verse 19 it says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." So what is this talking about? It's really easy to store up treasures on earth, to be caught up in things around us, like having the really good job, or to be successful, or to have status and popularity, or have the really nice things. But it says in this verse that those things do not last. And it looks completely different to store up treasures in heaven instead. This looks like loving people even when they've wronged you, or to be patient, or to give glory to God in all things. But these are the things that last. And these are the things that changed people's lives around you. Going on, it says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And so when we're caught up in the things around us, when we're caught up in the world and storing our treasure there, that's where our heart is. We get anxious or stressed out whenever we're failing at it because those things are falling around us. But when we're caught up in a life living for God, then that's where our heart is, and that is what we're acting out of. We're asking God, how can I love this person better? Or how can I live a life more for you rather than myself? So while you're on your mat today, I want to challenge you and encourage you to ask yourself, where's your heart? Is it on the things that are temporary, or is it on the things of God that will last? So go ahead and grab your water, and I'll see you on your mat. Hey guys, welcome to our restorative class today. We're going to get started in our Shavasana or corpse pose, laying flat on our back. So go ahead and just start to get comfortable here. Close the eyes. Find stillness in the body, and just come to our restful posture to start off our practice. And then we're going to start to release each muscle at a time, starting with the forehead, unfurrowing the eyebrows. And let the eyes sink back and the eyelids just softly closing on top of them. Unclench the jaw and let the tongue come away from the roof of the mouth. Open up the chest. Feel the rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and exhale. Unlock the knees and let the toes roll to the outsides of the mat. Maybe the palms are down to the mat, or maybe they're open. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Great job. Let's take that a couple more times all together, just starting to bring that breath into our practice. Inhale through the nose, filling up the body with oxygen. And open mouth, exhale through the mouth. One last time, inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Great job. Slowly draw the knees into the chest, give them a slight hug, and maybe rock the body from side to side if that feels good, giving the back a little bit of a massage, working out through the hips a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Great job. We're going to drop both knees over to the right side and open up the arms to a T. And let that gaze fall to the left, finding a twist all the way through the body. And here we're going to breathe 3 times and let those knees just start to fall a little bit closer down towards the mat. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, really opening up through that chest, allowing for deeper breathing here. And open mouth, exhale. One last time, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Slowly draw the knees back into the center, and then we're going to switch the legs to the other side, so both knees are falling over towards the left and the gaze is coming over to the right. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale, release it out. Bringing those knees a little bit heavier in towards the ground, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale, drawing that breath in, opening up the right side of the body, and exhale through the mouth. One last time here, inhale, deep breath, and open mouth, exhale. Bring the knees back into the center, and we're going to send the toes long down the mat, reach the fingertips all the way back, and get a long stretch all the way through the body. Extending through the fingers, extending through the toes. Inhale, reaching, and exhale out through the mouth. Great job. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, extending all the way from the fingers to the toes, becoming as long as you can, and exhale out through the mouth. Slowly roll onto the side of the body, coming into your fetal posture. Head is resting on the bicep, slightly bending through the knees and closing the eyes. Resting the palm into the mat, and take a slow inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale and exhale, slightly pressing through that hand, and come all the way up into a simple seated posture on our mat. Crossing at the ankles, hands coming to the knees, rooting through the sits bones, and then becoming long through the spine here, reaching through the crown of the head. Great job. Draw the shoulders up towards the ears with your inhale, and exhale, drop them back down. Rolling out through the shoulders, opening up through the chest, and through the space between the shoulder blades. Great job. Go ahead and reverse those rolls, going forward with the shoulders. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And come back to center, hands to the knees, sitting up tall. Inhale. And exhale, draw the chin down into the chest and take neck rolls over to the right. Slowly and gently drawing a big circle all the way with the crown of the head. Inhale, opening up every side of the neck. And exhale, reversing that motion. Releasing any tightness or tension that might be found here. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Great job. Come back to center. Open up the legs out to a V in front of you. And we're going to inhale the fingertips all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, release the right hand down to the right foot. Open up the left arm above the leg, and we're just going to find a side stretch here. Inhale, slightly pulling that left shoulder back, opening up the chest, and exhale, see if you can reach a little bit further with those left fingertips. Great job. Inhale one more time. And exhale, swing the fingertips into the center and fold down the middle of the legs. So maybe you're resting on the palms, or maybe you're resting on the forearms. But wherever you're at, close the eyes and think about drawing that breath into the hips. Opening up, keeping those toes pointed towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands back into the body. Inhale, fingertips come all the way up. And exhale, taking that side stretch towards the left, dropping the left hand down, and right fingertips are reaching over the body. Inhale, slightly pulling that right shoulder back. And exhale, reaching a little bit further. Great job, becoming long through the right side of the body, opening up here and opening up through the hips. One more deep breath. And exhale, swing the fingertips in towards the center and fold down the mat. Great job. Again, either resting on the hands or on the forearms. Closing the eyes. Keeping those knees at the center, pointing towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can bring those fingers just a little bit further down the mat. Great job. Coming back to center. Bring the feet together and we're going to find our staff posture. So the hands are coming next to the hips. Toes are pointed towards the sky. Inhale, sitting up tall through the crown of the head. Great job. Exhale. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And with your exhale, start to hinge forward with the hips, reaching the fingertips forward as far as you can, keeping a flat back. And then whenever you've hit your limit, go ahead and arch through the spine and fold over the legs, finding your forward fold posture. Great job. Inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold. Great job. Let's take 2 breaths here all together. Inhale, bringing that breath into the backs of the legs. And exhale out through the mouth, maybe letting that chest come a little bit closer in towards the thighs. Inhale, last breath here. Bringing that breath deep. And exhale out through the mouth. Great job. Come back to center. Swing the legs around and we're going to find our tabletop posture. So the hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Draw that belly button in towards the spine. And we're just going to warm up the spine with a cat-cow. So as we inhale, bring the gaze high, drop the chest low, open up through the front body for cow pose. And exhale, arch through the spine, chin coming into the chest for cat pose, lengthening here through the back body. Inhale, coming back into your cow posture, open up the chest, gaze coming high. And exhale, arching through the spine. Go ahead and take this flow with your own breath at your own pace, going from cat to cow, fluidly, from one posture to the next, using that breath. Opening up the front body and opening up the back body. Great job. Coming back to center, walk the hands about a handprint in front of where they are. Drop the shoulders down and keep the hips high for puppy pose. Spreading those fingertips wide, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the hips down, rolling onto the forearms. Find your Sphinx posture. So the forearms are pressing into the mat. Spread the fingertips out wide. Lift the crown of the head high. And open up the chest. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Great job. One more deep cleansing breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the belly onto the mat and the forehead just coming onto the forearms. Closing the eyes. And we're going to bend through the knees, bringing the toes towards the back. And finding a slow windshield wiper through the feet from one side to the other. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling, letting the feet fall towards one side. Great job. Use your breath to bring the feet from one side to the other, opening up through the lower back, moving out through the hips. Feeling an opening through the chest. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Coming back to center with those feet. Let the knees open up a little bit wider and see if you can bring the soles of the feet together. And drop the feet as low towards the mat as you can, keeping the hips and the belly rested onto the mat. That forehead is still resting onto the hands or the forearms. Closing the eyes and just opening up through the hips here. Again, maybe the feet are coming together or maybe they're just reaching towards one another today. Being present with your body, being present with where you are in your stretch. Not pressing past any limits, but just breathing into the hips and allowing them to open at their own pace, being patient with them. Exhale, letting any tension out of the space. Maybe the feet are falling a little bit closer down towards the mat with your exhales. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the feet away from each other and let them come down all the way onto the mat. Plant the hands under the shoulders, and we're going to rise up into a full cobra or upward facing dog. Opening up through the front of the body, lifting the head all the way up. And then exhale, bend the knees and send those hips back onto the heels, finding your child's pose. So the fingers are reaching towards the front, opening up through the spine. Maybe the knees stay together today, or maybe they open up and allow the hips to open a little bit deeper. But wherever you're at in your child's pose, we're just going to take some time to deep breathe here. I love coming into child's pose and just letting it be a physical reminder to my heart of coming before the Lord. Maybe opening up my hands to Him and just saying, Father, whatever I'm clinging on to, whatever I'm holding on to, Lord, I just open up my hands and I lay it down at your feet. Maybe it's worries, burdens, and stresses. But it says in His Word that He loves to take our burdens for us. We can cast our cares on Him because He loves us, because He is strong enough to take those things for us. So I just invite you today in your child's pose to set that down at His feet, whatever it is. Maybe it's something you've been clinging on to because it feels comfortable, but He's inviting you to find comfort in Him today. Breathe here. Invite His Word to just soak over your mind, soak over your heart. Exhale out any untruths, any doubts you've been holding on to. Great job. Maybe you stay here for a little while in your child's pose, or you can find a little bit more movement with me. We're going to come to a downward facing dog, so planting into those hands, lifting the hips high, and maybe walking out your dog, bending one knee at a time, opening up through those hamstrings. Great job. And when you're ready, take the top of that right foot and plant it into the mat, and slowly drag the right knee up to meet the right thumb and come into your pigeon pose. Flexing through that right foot. Inhale, open up the chest, lift the crown of the head, and then exhale, coming all the way down into a sleeping pigeon, resting the head on the forearms and closing the eyes here. If pigeon pose is ever too much on the hips, you can take a reclined pigeon pose on the back. It's the same posture, it's just taking some pressure out of the hips, taking some weight out of it. But wherever you're at, close the eyes, find stillness here, and find that deep breath. Inhale, bringing oxygen into the hips. And exhale it out through the mouth. One more deep breath here. Great job. And exhale. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Lift the chest away from the leg. And we're going to swing the left foot around, coming into a double pigeon by placing that left foot on top of the right knee. And the left knee just slowly starts to fall towards that right foot, maybe making contact today or maybe just reaching. You can also take this pose a little bit deeper into shoelace posture, where the left knee is stacked on top of the right knee and the feet are next to the hips. Whatever posture is available to you today, finding that position, closing the eyes. And then lifting the right fingertips high, inhale, and exhale, drop the fingertips down towards the mid-back, reach the left hand around, and maybe grabbing hands today, or maybe just reaching the fingertips towards one another. Open up the chest, inhale, and exhale out through the mouth. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale out. Release the hands back to the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift the hips all the way up into your downward facing dog. Taking your last one of the practice, maybe walking out the feet, bending one knee at a time, or maybe just finding stillness with the heels. Inhale, opening up the chest, reaching it a little bit closer towards the thighs. And exhale out through the mouth. Great job. When you're ready, take the top of that left foot, plant it into the mat, and drag that left knee all the way up to meet the left thumb, and find your pigeon pose on the other side. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, find your way into a sleeping pigeon, resting the forehead onto the forearms, closing the eyes. And again, taking in our deep breaths, bringing that breath into the hip space. And using the exhales to really let go of any tightness found here. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Plant the hands under the shoulders, lift the chest away from the leg, and swing that right foot all the way around. Maybe finding your double pigeon, stacking that right foot on top of the left knee, or bringing it all the way into shoelace, stacking the knees on top of each other. Find your posture today, wherever your hips are at, whatever stretch feels best for them. And then lifting the left fingertips high. Exhale, releasing the hand down the back and swinging the right fingertips around, maybe grabbing or maybe just reaching towards one another today. Great job. Let the shoulders roll back and down away from the ears. Open up the chest. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the hands down. Set the feet on the mat in front of you. Give those knees a slight hug. And then exhale. Slowly release the back onto the mat. And when you've made it, bring the knees into the chest. Give them a slight hug. Maybe rocking from side to side here. And then reach the fingertips all the way back, toes all the way forward, getting that long stretch through the body. Inhale, lengthening all the way through the fingers and toes. And exhale, release the hands down by the sides, finding our final resting posture back into Shavasana or corpse pose. Closing the eyes, and we're going to move back down through the body, releasing every muscle at a time. Starting with the forehead, unfurrow the eyebrows, and let the eyes sink back, and the eyelids just softly closing on top of them. Open up through the chest, let the shoulders become heavy. Feel the rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and exhale. Let the hips be soft. Unlock the knees and let the toes roll to the outsides of the mat. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. As we end our practice, I want to leave you with 2 questions to be thinking on and praying on, and maybe taking some time to journal later. What is your heart centered on today? What treasures of heaven is Jesus offering to you? Jesus, you are the treasure. You fulfill our heart's desires. The things you offer are joy and peace, goodness and abundance of life. So Lord, we lay down our earthly desires, the things that distract us from you. God, they do not last, so we lay them down. Thank you for being enough. Thank you that you invite us in to know your goodness. We love you, Lord. Amen. Thank you so much for spending this time with me to practice, to breathe and move and be in prayer. I look forward to seeing you on your mat next time.